So finally I'm in my new apartment. I was planning on showing you guys my office space, but the thing is we're lacking a lot of furniture right now, so it's a mess. So that's why for the time being the majority of what you'll see is probably just my bookshelf as a background, or I might just go screw it and just film while I'm at my desk when I'm doing reading updates. We'll see. I'm also planning on actually moving my bookshelves to the other wall, because I just thought, based on where my desk is placed, it would be better, because my desk is placed on that wall and my bookshelf is here. So if I do film at my desk, you can't see my bookshelves at all, and that is something I do want to do. I want to have my bookshelves in the background of most of my videos if possible. So that might be also another video for another day, where I reorganize and move my bookshelves once again, because if anything I am always moving my bookshelves left and right just because. So today I'm starting part 2 of possibly 5 parts of my Heaven Official Blessing of Reading vlog series. I was originally planning on doing like last time, where I read up to book 4, like the first half in one vlog and then the second half in the second vlog, but that took me way too long, and also it was over 2 hours long. So I'll probably see. It might be that I'm going to do now for a vlog for each individual volume, just like what I'm doing with Grandmaster of Numerical Cultivation, or I'll do now books 5 and 6 and then 7 and 8, which I'm terrified, because I know that volume 6 is heart-wrenching. According to Kenzie, book 5, this one, is a lot more like book 1, which is a lot more mystery based, more than trauma, which is a nice little refresher. It's a little break between one trauma and the other. One thing that I'm very excited to get into is the Brocade arc, which is apparently going to be a lot more focused on Ling Wen. And if you don't know, I am in love with Ling Wen. No, it doesn't matter what she did. She did nothing wrong, okay? I love her. Also, I think I mentioned this in my the first vlog as well. I absolutely love this cover. It's so cute. I love the colors. I just love it very much. It's a nice change from the other ones, where I don't know, because especially book 4 is like them making out on the cover. Then book 3 as well, they're also making out on the cover. Book 2 is the flashback image, and then book 1 is them literally in marriage attire. So I feel like, yes, this is probably going to be a lot more similar to book 1. Just on the cover alone, they're a lot, like softer looking than the other ones, in my opinion. So yes, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start this tonight or today, because Steph also wants to start it. I originally planned to start Stars of Chaos, which I did. I am a couple of pages in, but I had to soft DNF because I'm already reading 2 different Donmei series at once. I'm reading Grandmaster Neural Cultivation and Heaven Official Blessings, and Stars of Chaos is my very first Donmei that isn't Woshang Tongxue, and I'm a little thrown off, and especially because of the 2 main love interests not being related, but still kinda not by blood, but it still icks me out a little bit, because one of them actually looks at the other as his son, for from what I've read so far, and the other is having wet dreams about his godfather. It just makes me feel weird, but apparently according to Genzi, it gets better, and the next volumes are even better than the first one. So I trust Kenzie, okay? I repeat this to myself whenever I think of DNFing fully DNFing Stars of Chaos, is that I trust Kenzie. I trust Kenzie, because she also told me to not read, I think it was Era, it was the husky one, because she knows what I like and what I don't like. So she knows, she told me, don't read it, you will hate it. And from what she's told me, I would absolutely rip that one to shreds. Oh my god. So if she says that I would enjoy Stars of Chaos, I trust her. I really do trust her, but I think I'm gonna start Stars of Chaos later on once I finished at least Having Official Blessings or Grandmaster Neural Cultivation, because I'm pretty sure that, well, technically I have the same amount of volumes left in both series. I have 4 volumes left of Having Official Blessings and 4 volumes left of Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, so I might finish them at the same time. Gonna try and start this one today, and you know, I'll try to give you a bit more updates and also, you know, be a bit more consistent with the giving updates rather than, you know, do weekly updates and me just rambling. It's something that I've noticed while editing my vlogs, okay? I've noticed. And hopefully this one isn't going to be an hour, 2 hours long again. We'll see. I'll probably edit this one as I go as well. Like every clip that I have, I'll probably edit it as I go just to see like how long it will be. So if by the end of book 6, it's already like closer to 2 hours, I might just do each individual vlog for each volume, and if not, then I might just upload it like I said. Like, it's either going to be now an individual vlog for each volume or like 2 by 2, you know, so that instead of having 5 vlogs in the series, it might just be 3. It's something I should have done from the beginning, because oh my god, that vlog was so long. It took me so long to edit. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it in the description, and it's also easy to find. It's one of my most recent videos, along with my vlog for Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, so if you want to check that one out, you can do that. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm literally on the first page of volume 5 and I already have an update. Ling Wen created the upper court communication array and she just destroyed it so that Shelly couldn't give more information about her being the one that originally created the Brocade Immortal. Like, at this point, she's just the Shadow Empress of the upper court. Junmu who? It's not him ruling the upper court, it's literally Ling Wen at this point. Holy shit. hi, ignore the horrible angle. You're currently sitting on a box with a bunch of my junk because, you know. But I did get a little bit further into TGCF. I'm currently on page 111. So, you know, I'm making progress. Slowly, but you know, at the very least, stuff hasn't started yet, so I have a pretty big head start. But I know that if she starts reading this today, in an hour she's already ahead of me, so that's a problem. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try and read another chunk today. Problem is, this week I'm pretty busy, so I don't have that much time to read. So let's hope I can get, you know, most of this done this week, because I want to because I know from what I've calculated, okay, for me to be able to finish this in a week, I need to read at the very least 58 pages a day, which I have not been able to do. The very first day I read 55 pages, then the next day I read 40, and then the next day I read 16, so not at all catching up to my daily goals. I'm currently getting closer to where I was supposed to be on day 2, so it's supposed to be day 4 now since I started it, but you know, it's fine. If I can finish this before the end of the month, I'll already be happy. I'm enjoying this one so far, okay? Right now it's dragging a little bit because we're currently where Shilian and Huang are about to, well, I guess they already entered like the what now? The Mount Tonglu territory. They already entered it, and so there was this whole thing with other ghosts, and it was kind of dragging. I feel like we were staying on that one for way too long, but now I understand why we stayed on that one for way too long, because of this, because of the fan service. So you know, I'm not too mad about it, but I do want to get going because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I'm very scared. I also love that this is the next image. Like, that looks so chaotic. I have a certain feeling about Huang currently looking like a child and still being very flirtatious with Shilian. But you know, I'm gonna keep those thoughts to myself because I feel like I'm just not. I feel like I'm going to be the only one on that. But anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get another chunk done of this. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I was surprised that Ling Wen was the person who created the communication array for the upper court, where like they could all communicate together. But you know, that makes a fuckload of sense, and I love that she's kind of like the shadow empress of the upper court. She's kind of like the shadow empress of the upper court, and everything's falling apart without her. And also not Junwoo asking Shilian to become like kind of like the emperor in his place while he goes to Mount Tonglu. Sir, like that would be so chaotic. And also the fact like no one would actually listen to Shilian. Like no one would. Like, what made him say that? But yeah, and also I'm pretty sure we just got confirmation that Fuyao is Moshin because of, you know, the way that he spoke. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a bit more into Moshin and why he's the way that he is, because he's kind of a brat. He's kind of an asshole. I mean, in my opinion, there's a reason for that, especially with the flashbacks from like before Shilian's ascension and before his ascension as well. Like, I feel like there's history there, and I feel like there's trauma there, okay? Because he was bullied, and I get the feeling that he doesn't fully trust Shilian. Like, he actually believes that everyone hates him, when like that's just kind of like him being extremely insecure and just overly sensitive. Which, for every single time there's more information about like Moshin as a person and his personality, I'm like, why are you me? I hate it here. But also Shilian just straight up insulting him in front of Fuyao was kind of funny. And also the whole situation with Function and what was her face? Lanchang. That was a whole thing. I mean, I knew because I had seen like fan art and like I had seen something along those lines that Function was a baby daddy. And then when Lunchung came up, like, you know, being the mother of the demon fetus, like I already knew basically that, you know, that was his child. But the way he acted so different, because like from the beginning of the series, Function, every time he was near a woman, even Windmaster, when they were in their female form, Function would just walk away. He would just not get anywhere near any woman because he's terrified of women. I don't understand what, like, if it was mushing about him and his like cultivation, like that would be understandable that he wants to stay away from women because he like it's because of his cultivation. I could kind of understand that, but with Function, I don't see why he has such a fear of women and just being near women. Like, it's kind of weird. Anyways, that's just strange. And then the moment that he realizes who Lunchung is, he without hesitation like grabs her and like tries to like confirm that it's her. The way he would have, he said that if he had known that that child was his, he would have like stepped up. But apparently, like, when they met, it was when it was after Shelian's first banishment. And so Function was so dedicated to staying with Shelian and protecting him that I guess he left her without knowing that she was pregnant, and she kind of took that as like he would never. That is so complicated. That is such a complicated thing. I want to see more of that. I know she ran away, and the way that fetus just fucking destroyed his face too, like that thing has anger issues. I still don't like the demon fetus because the way that it was written, especially in the third book, was very like demonizing of abortion. Like, if this was a Western book, or I don't know if people are talking about it this way, but I know that if this was a Western book, I know that there's so many people who are pro-life would take this and be like, see, don't have abortions, otherwise you risk having a demon fetus murdering people all around you. Like, that is so, it's terrifying that is actually something that I can imagine people making up to demonize abortion. It's so horrifying. I don't like the fact that it's a demon fetus. They could have just done it like a child, but then the whole abortion storyline wouldn't be a thing. And like with mushing, I understand why, but I wish it was written in a different way. You know what I mean? It's a complicated thing. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm gonna keep on rambling. But I can't wait to continue this one because apparently this one is a lot more calmer, according to Kenzie. Apparently it's a lot more like book 1, where there's a lot of things happening, but it's more on the mystery than it is on like trauma. So, you know, that's a relief because I'm exhausted. And it's kind of like, I guess it is the calm before the storm for book 6, because every time Kenzie brings it up, she's like, you're not ready for book 6, you're gonna die in book 6. I'm gonna try and get to book 6 during a time where I know I don't have anything to do, where I can just sit all day reading and just take it in. And who knows, I might just not be able to finish it in one go. I might just have to take breaks, just like I did with books 2 and 3, because of the amount of stuff that was in there. Like, I love books that absolutely destroy me, but at the same time, with certain topics, I have to pause. There are certain topics that I just can't get into, basically. Also, do you guys like my wall? This would kind of like be the background of some of my videos. I think I'm gonna try and add some more posters and art like below, but like this is kind of like what it's looking like for now. I tried to put most of my TGCF ones behind me, and also like Mau Mau and like a bunch of stuff. The fact that these, like, hold on, these right here, these were all like prints that I bought from someone at an artist alley when I didn't even know what TGCF was. Like, I originally just wanted to buy, no, not that one, this one, which is of Beef Leaf. And I didn't know who they were. I just thought, oh, lesbians, let me buy it. And then they were like, oh, it's actually a package deal. You can get all 6 of these for like a certain price. And I was like, oh, slay, give me. And then last year when I first said, okay, I'm gonna maybe start TGCF soon, and then Emily added me to the group chat, I was like looking through fan art to kind of like get me in the mood of reading it, and I saw a couple of characters, and I was like, specifically Huang, and I was like, I have this bitch on my wall. And it was, I think it was this image specifically that like, from like literally this one. Hold on, let me try and show you guys a bit closer. This bitch. Then you obviously got Shillian, then our 2 lovebirds. This one terrifies me. I'm pretty sure that is from book 6, so I'm absolutely terrified. And then you have Beef Leaf, and then this, I don't know what this is. I'm assuming that's Mount Tonglu, and that's Huachang. I'm assuming, I don't know where that is. So, you know, so that's kind of fun. And then that is from like the book 8 special edition that I got for my birthday. I think this, no, not, what's that? Yeah, this one as well. And I think a couple of other stuff. Obviously, like the little postcards of the covers, the stickers, bookmark, and I think that's it. And obviously behind me on my desk, I also have a bunch of like obsessions going on. Why am I blurry? Well, yeah, show the background more. Hi, sorry if I sound weird, I just woke up. And also, if you hear any noise, my laptop is being loud as hell, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. It's been a minute since I, you know, gave an update on where I'm at with Have an Official Blessing. So I'm currently on page 140. So I am currently where they're fighting Pei Ming's old sword, which was really cool to find out. I don't think I had heard his his story before of like the general that broke his sword. I don't remember hearing that before, but you know, I might just be forgetting things at this point. But yeah, it was really cool, and I hate to admit it, but Pei Ming might be growing on me a little. Just a little, okay? It's still a man. And I can't, one thing I was not expecting in this was for Iming having a praise king. Like, every time Chilean praises him, he grows bigger, and then Pei Ming makes him kiss the sword and he grows even bigger. I don't know if that was a metaphor for Huachang's penis, but I also just love how after book 4, Pei Ming kind of just became Chilean's fanboy and is becoming the biggest Hualien shipper in this book so far. I don't I think that's so funny. It's just being this whole, like, I'm not even halfway into it and it's already so chaotic, and I can tell why Kenzie said that this one was a bit more like book 1. Yeah, there's not that much, like, obviously there's important things going on, but it's a lot more on the comedic side and more on like the mystery solving type thing and the journey, more so than, you know, like trauma from beginning to end. Like, book 4 was insane, and apparently book 6 isn't much better. So, you know, what's also terrifying is that the very last image in book 5 is of Yushi Huang, which I adore. Like, I've already, like, because when I took the very first, like, Have an Official's Blessings test, I would always get, like, even now when I take it, I usually either get Muxing or Yushi Huang, which I don't know how to feel about, but at the beginning I didn't know who Yushi Huang was, and so I looked her up, and she sounds so cool. I love that. And also apparently people ship her with Ling Wen, so I love that, and I can't wait to see her. And apparently she's here already, but I don't think we're going to see her just yet. I think, is this whole book just going to be at Mount Tonglu? Is that the entirety of the book? It might just be. Holy cow. That's a bit concerning that it might actually just be the whole book at Mount Tonglu. I just hope it's not like, again, like a book 2 situation where the whole book just kind of drags because of, like, in book 2 it was because of the flashbacks, and in this one I hope it doesn't drag because of the whole thing taking place in Mount Tonglu. I don't know if the whole thing takes place at the mountain, but I hope not, just because from what I've already read in Heaven Official Blessings, as the moment that we stay a bit too long in the same place, it starts to drag and it starts to feel like the author was just like trying to throw as many things inside of it. Because at this point there was the moment where all the other ghosts were around and they were kind of like surrounding each other and trying to figure out who has the human scent on them. Even though there were a couple of funny moments in there, and also between Shilian and Huang, I did start to feel like that one was dragging on a little bit. So that's what worries me, basically. That the whole thing is just gonna start dragging because it's all in the same place, basically. But yeah, I'm also concerned that it's not just book 5 that takes place at Mount Tonglu. I'm afraid that it's gonna bleed over to book 6. And that's where some of the trauma comes from, which I'm not ready for. I'm not ready for book 6. Like, I think I'm not trying to speed this one too much because I don't want to get to book 6 just yet. I'm terrified. Like, if you look at that cover is terrifying. I am not ready for this shit. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for book 6. I'm not ready for this shit to end. Oh my god. And I'm pretty sure I've decided to include book 6 in this vlog as well, because I feel like that would be a good idea to kind of have the calm before the storm and then the storm right after. But that still remains to be seen, depending on how long this vlog already is, because I don't want to upload another almost 3-hour long vlog because that took way too long to edit and I hate my life. So yeah, it's either going to be an hour or it's going to be not uploaded. I'm gonna try and get another chunk done. I'm gonna try and get to the next image, which is, well, that is literally the next page. So I think I'm gonna try and finish this chapter today. Or maybe a couple of chapters, because the next one isn't that long either, I think. It's a little long, but it's fine. Maybe I'll read to the next image. Hi, it's been a minute since I updated. I always forget to update, but I am, I think, halfway through. I'm on page 221. So hold on, let me check slow graph. So yeah, almost halfway. I'm on 84%, and I'm currently on the part where they just got Ling Wen back, and also Huang is back in his regular, like, real form. I'm losing brain cells with this volume, not going to lie. It's so much more chaotic than the last 3 volumes. It's definitely a lot more like volume 1 in terms of the comedy. And also, I have now a love-hate relationship with Pei Ming, okay? Because at the beginning of this, he was kind of goofy. He was kind of weird. And also in book 4, when he, like, was with Alien and stuff like that, he kind of grew on me. But then in this one, he opened his mouth. So now I have a love-hate relationship with him because he can be so goofy and fun, and I love that he's kind of becoming Shilian and Huang's only fanboy. But at the same time, this man is such an alpha male type person. I hate him. And then we also meet Ling Wen's former boss, I guess. I don't know how to call it. He's fucking awful. I love Ling Wen. I love her. I love her so much. I love Ling Wen. She's my wife. I was so excited going into this because I knew that we were going to get a lot more information on Ling Wen. I didn't know we were going to get also a bit of a backstory on Pei Ming. Didn't know I needed that. Don't really feel like I care, but it's there. Listen, the way that Shilian always finds a way to basically purposely embarrass himself by saying that he can't get erect because Ling Wen's former boss is to basically escape her. He had to possess a statue of a eunuch, so he doesn't have a schlong anymore. And so Shilian, trying to, you know, like, calm the situation, he was like,
well, don't worry, it doesn't even matter that much, yada yada yada. I can't use it either. I cannot. This is so chaotic. I love it so much. I'm losing brain cells reading this. It's just because Steph is now ahead of me, so she got to this part before I did. And so when I said at first, like, oh, I love Lane 1, and then she was like, oh, keep reading. And I was like, oh god, is something going to happen to her? No! Just pure fucking chaos, and also her being kind of a bitch, I realized. I love her so much. I love her so much. I love Lane 1. I think that's what I'm going to repeat the most in this vlog, is that I love Lane 1. I love Lane 1. I love Lane 1. But yes, I'm also very excited because so far Lord Rainmaster has been mentioned a lot. Like they're around. Okay, they're around, they're nearby, they're just fighting ahead and all of that. I love that Ling Wen and Lord Rainmaster fought, you know, like kind of off camera, and which is also the reason that Ling Wen got caught. And it's just, I'm very excited to meet Rainmaster because I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this earlier in this vlog, but when I did the first like PGCF quiz, I originally got Rainmaster and I didn't know who they were, so I was just like, who's this? And then I took it again, and every time I take the quiz, it's either Rainmaster, Ling Wen, or Muxing that I get. So I don't know what that says about me, but that's like what it is. And so yeah, I'm very excited to meet them, especially because I know that the last image of this volume is them. So I'm very excited to get to see them. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited because from what I've seen of like a couple of fan arts of Yushi Huang, I see a lot of people ship her with Ling Wen. I don't know why. Apparently it's not in the light novels. It might be based off of a fan fiction, but I'm here for it. Okay, I'm here. But I'm very excited. I'm just very excited to meet Yushi Huang because it's been 5 books. Okay, I've known of her for 5 books and I haven't seen her yet. I know that she was mentioned, like she was mentioned in the story like twice before. I think the first time was in book 2 or 3. I don't know exactly. It was when Shilian asked her for her hat, for her Rainmaster hat, to borrow some power. And then the second time was in book 4, where they basically went to hide. Windmaster and Minnie and Hua Chang and Shilian went to hide in Yushi Huang's territory, and that's the only 2 times that like they were like so near her and she did not appear. And I was like, ah! I'm so frustrated because I'm so excited to see her because apparently she's very beloved in the fandom as well. So I'm very excited to see her. But I'm not that excited because I know that apparently she appears at the end of this book, and the next book is book 6. So I'm excited to see her, but somehow I'm not, because I don't want this one to end. Really, I don't. So we're having a blast, y'all. Jesus. Steph and I did sprints yesterday. I don't know if we're going to do sprints today as well, but I'll definitely try to give more updates, but that's not a promise because I think the last update I gave was like over a week ago, which is very silly and I'm very sorry. Okay, so I'm not even a page further, but I just realized, so they found another mural in another holy temple of the Crown Prince of Wuyong, and while I'm reading and they're explaining, I'm thinking this is near Mount Tonglu. The town's name is Wuyong. I already had a theory in my head that Junwoo is like the white face, like white mask, like, you know, like the white ghost king. And so with that in my head, like I'm convinced that is, and I don't even have that much like anything to back it up, except that as long as I don't see them 2 motherfuckers in the same room right next to each other, that will be like my theory till like the end. But also because I have that theory, I'm like, so that means that he probably also went through through Mount Tonglu. So my theory is that he's the crown prince of Wuyong, especially because John Wuyong, like the first part of the name of the town is, or like the whatever it is also Wu. So I don't know, that might be dumb, but it's I have a feeling that that's what's going on, that he's purpose, because like the murals aren't real, they're there by magic. So I don't know if this is John Woo just like putting up those murals, and as soon as they've seen them, he just like makes them go away. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anymore, but you know, I'm scared. I hope we're not going to spend the entire rest of the book at Mount Tonglu. I hope that by the end of this book we're out of Mount Tonglu, that it doesn't carry over to book 6, because then I'm actually going to get worried. Knowing what happens in that thing, I'm nervous, I'm scared. So I really don't want to have the entirety of book 6 be at Mount Tonglu. According to my friends, book 6 does have a lot more backstory, so it's kind of like book 2 and 3 where like there's a large chunk of backstory again, which I'm not excited about, because so far like the backstories in Heaven Official Blessings have been like very long and dragged out, and like they kind of like slow the pace for me, so I'm kind of nervous. But yeah, that's my theory for now. Okay, so I'm currently on page 232, and Chilian really needs to chill because poor guy, I'm gonna assume that it's the new Earthmaster with the shovel, or at least it's someone that has the Earthmaster shovel, right? Who just came to save all of their asses, right? Shilian's first thing that he does is go up to him and like demand where Windmaster is, which, fair enough, that's his bestie. But then his excuse as to why he assumes that that is Darkwater or Blackwater, I don't remember, there's Huang in disguise, is because the man's face is apparently so plain that it's like the perfect face to make a disguise out of, because if you see it in a crowd in an hour you won't even remember what it looks like, blah blah blah. And he says that out loud as an accusation. This man is not in disguise, that's just his face. Shilian needs to chill, okay? Not everyone can look like Huang, okay?
Fiona, tá fininho. Hi, it's been a minute since I updated again. I don't remember if did I update yesterday? I might have, I forgot. I did get a little further. I'm currently on page 265, I think. There she goes. But yes, I think I'm in the 260-ish pages. I'm almost caught up to stuff. I think I'm halfway there, question mark, something like that. If you hear purring, Fiona is on the windowsill. Pei Ming's, like Pei Junior's speech is so funny right now. It's kind of hard to read because of the punctuation, but it's definitely very funny because like that is because of Shilian's cooking that he's talking like that. So that's kind of, I think that's very funny. And then Hua Chang telling him that he shouldn't speak if he's not able to speak correctly. First of all, that's kind of ableist, but second of all, bitch, what the fuck? That's because of your husband's fault. Chill out. And then Pei Ming being a dumbass the whole time. I love currently what everything that's happening to Pei Ming. I love it. He is being such an idiot, and I love it. I hate him. I have a love-hate relationship with him just because of him in general, but then also the fact that he is kind of like now Shilian and Hua Chang's fanboy. He's kind of growing on me, but then he opens his mouth, and also he literally can't keep his hands to himself. First, he tried to like wrap an arm around Banwei just because he thought because they're in a scary situation, a woman would need some comforting. His ass got bitten by one of her snakes, and then this man thinks he sees a woman's bone, picks it up, and when he realizes it's actually a man's, he throws it away only to then be I guess, poisoned by some ghost shit, and then he goes back and uses it as a weapon. Are you stupid? His dumbass is growing on me, and I don't know how to feel about it. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last vlog or in this one, but Guan Yushen has been a character that I really love ever since he was introduced, and I just realized why. He's extremely autistic coded to the point where it almost made me cry when people were being ableist towards him. I love this bitch. I love Huang Yushi. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I should really look into how to pronounce their names. Bye bye Fiona. Okay, so I'm on page 283 and I'm angry. We're getting a bit more of a backstory about Huang Yushi and Yin Yu. I'm so mad because from the beginning it was said that Yin Yu's banishment was because of Huang Yushi. That's not the motherfucking case. If this other asshole didn't open his fucking mouth, none of this would have happened. He wouldn't even have ascended if he didn't shut his mouth. What do you mean? I'm so angry. This man's ableism is so... I'm mad. Hi, another update. I'm almost done. I'm on page 360, so I have about 40 pages left. I think I'll be able to do that today because yesterday I also read about 40 pages, so I think I'll be able to finish it because right now we're in the like lost city of Wuyong, and the way the whole thing just reminds me of Pompeii is kind of creepy. Like it always made me cry. And then I also have a theory about the crown prince of Wuyong and also like the Four Mountains and stuff like that, because Shilian keeps having these theories about his state preceptor of Shenle, because apparently he's still alive as well, and it might be that the three others are also still alive. He was talking about like reincarnation, like that has been coming up like a lot, like in the last couple of chapters, ever since the state preceptor was revealed to still be alive, and also every single one of the murals of the kingdom of Wuyong resembles a lot of what happened to Shenle, and so Shilian keeps fearing that it's a case of reincarnation, that he's a part of this, and just goes insane and stuff like that. And here's the thing, I have a theory that it is a reincarnation story, that the Four Mountains are the four like crown princes. Like I don't think it's right because you see, I had a theory that the reincarnation thing happened a couple of times before, that each time it's like now Shilian is the fourth and final time, so then you have the Four Mountains of like this whole part, and that the crown prince of Wuyong is Jinwu, but then that would mean that Jinwu is also one of the mountain spirits, and I don't think that's a thing. But I just thought of something. What if Wuyong was supposed to be, no, not Wuyong, Jinwu was supposed to be the fourth one, but he instead, when the volcano erupted, he became the very first ghost king, and that's why he didn't become one of the mountain spirits, and that's why now they need Shilian, because Shilian keeps theorizing that maybe the Four Mountains are his four state preceptors, and the four guardians of the crown prince of Wuyong are also the four state preceptors of Shenle. The problem is there's so many like sets of four people, like of different stories and like different like groups of characters, that it's like hard to think of like, okay, which one's which. So it's either it is the four state preceptors, or it's a case of reincarnation, and Shilian is the final piece of that. Which could also explain why Jinwu, like his first thoughts was to go to Mount Tonglu himself. Which would also explain like if Jinwu, like I'm almost convinced that the crown prince of Wuyong is Jinwu, and that would explain like why he shows so much favoritism towards Shilian, because he can, like, from knowing Shilian and seeing like what happened to him, like also being born in the same like star cycle thing, like he would like
he sees himself in Chilean basically, and that might be why he shows favoritism, and which is also why he might have, like, when he wanted to go to Mount Tonglo by himself, he might have wanted, that might be why he wanted to appoint Chilean to be the Heavenly Emperor in, like, while he's gone. It's going insane. But apparently, according to Kenzie, the Mount Tonglu arc is all the way up to the end of the main story in book 8. Fuck me. So, you know, I don't know how I feel about this arc taking place over 4 books. God damn, my camera's going to die. So I don't know how I feel yet, especially because knowing that the next book is, like, heart-wrenching, and I'm terrified. And I'm also very sad that meeting Yushi Huang, the Rain Master, only happens at the end of this book, which means that then I will get to see more of her in the next book, but under very depressing circumstances. I hope I see her in, like, also different, you know, situation, not just in the depressing part. Okay, so I did finish it last night, and I immediately gave it 5 stars, just because of, unlike the last couple of books, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna have to think about this, because it's definitely not a 5-star. The thing is that throughout this book, I haven't been thinking about what I was going to rate at the end. So when I did finish it and it came time to give it a rating, I just immediately went 5 stars because, like, off the top of my head, I can't think of one thing that made me go like, this is going to take away a star, okay? So this one was fun. This one was a lot more fun than the last couple of books. I mean, I like book 4, but it was just like a couple of things that are, like, you know, rub me the wrong way, like the demon fetus and such whatnot. For the last, like, couple of pages, I mean, I absolutely fell in love with Yushi Huang. No one's surprised. I was so excited to meet her. And after she arrived, it really came apparent of Pei Ming's sexism, and, like, he very much has this ideology of women need to be protected at all times, and that is a man's job, and so on and so forth. So when there's a woman like Yushi Huang who can keep herself safe and, like, you know, handle herself very well, he doesn't know what to do. He's, like, conflicted. He's like, what do I do? What, like, he doesn't know what he has to do with that, because, like, that's just the ideology that he has. And so that's a very fun dynamic to see them two have of each other because of, you know, their history. And so listen, I have a love-hate relationship with Pei Ming, okay? I hate this man. He's funny and he's a dumbass, but the moment this motherfucker opens his mouth, all of that goes out the window. I hate this bitch. So if, because of Yushi Huang, they can give him a redemption arc where he learns that the way he thinks about, and they give him from that a redemption arc that actually makes him learn to unlearn those things, I think that would be fun. I also love how Huang puts it literally just as it is. He said that Pei Ming, although he loves women, he does not respect them. Like, he doesn't view them as, like, anything other than damsels in distress all the time. Which, that is something that we've seen throughout the series whenever he's around. Like, for example, in book 4, there was on the ship, while those women were in distress, he was immediately there to give them a hug and all of that. But he mainly just gave them a hug, not because he thought, okay, they might need it. It was because, like, he went so long without seeing a woman. He was like, anyone will do. I just want to hold a woman, which is weird. What is this, man? And then also with earlier in this book with Fanwei, who, you know, also can hold herself, like, hold her own in a fight. He's not used to that either. And so when they arrived at, like, a scary, I think it was one of the temples or whatever it was. It was a bit creepy, and so his first reaction was like, oh, let me put a restraining arm around this woman. And this dumbass got his hand bitten by one of her snakes, by one of her scorpion snakes. And even Ling Wen was like, you really can't keep your hands to yourself, can you? Speaking of Ling Wen, she disappeared. He disappeared because he's in his male form. But Jesus Christ. And so now I'm kind of excited to see a bit more of Pei Ming, if it's going to be the type of arc where he kind of like unlearns all the sexism that he grew up with because of this woman. I love her. She had an iconic entrance that really reminded me of what's his face? Lang Wangji from Grandmaster Moral Cultivation. It was such an iconic entrance. I loved it. And just her as a whole, like her whole story, her whole thing, I love it so much. When it comes to like the, because like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when I first did like the character quiz for Heaven Official's Blessings, the one that I got the most often was Yushi Huang, and at the time I didn't know who she was. I had never, like, she hadn't appeared yet, she hadn't been mentioned yet, so I didn't know who she was. And also no one said like anything about her, like if it was a good or a bad thing. But then I did my own like little research on her before I got to her, and I got so excited. And it's a very stark contrast to Zhang Cheng from Grandmaster Cultivation, because like he's an asshole, he's a jackass, and every time I try to redo the quiz of Grandmaster Cultivation to try and get someone else, and every time I get this bitch, okay? But apparently according to Kenzie, he like has a rough start in the series, but he becomes like a fan favorite as well. So you know, I'll be waiting to actually like as much as I do Yushi Huang, but I'm so happy. I also love how Hua Chang is basically a feminist. I love him. I love Hua Chang, okay? I love him. I love them. I think I read it quite quickly as well. It probably took me another 3 weeks to read it, but you know, I'm gonna try and get to book 6. I'm gonna try and get to book 6 as fast as possible. Now I'm going to read a book club pig within this month, and then I think I'll get started on book 6. I also wanted to start Grandmaster Moral Cultivation book 2, but it's almost the end of the year, and I want to have Heaven Official's Blessings done by the end of the year, and it's already going to be very hard because it's already September. So I'll have to finish another one this month just to be able to finish the other 2 by the end of the year. It's a mess, okay? So I think what I'll do, yeah, I think I'll just get going on that book club pick for now, which I also have the other book for, so it'll be fast. But then I'll immediately get back to Heaven Official's Blessings.